coming in here. Perfect.
Hey, somebody tell the band to shut up!
They're not listening again. It's a problem.
It's hard to find good band members these days, you know?
So,
stop playing.
Tonight's episode is What Women Want. And if you've ever wondered what they want, we have a real-life woman here tonight. Alex is joining us. And if you ever wondered what women want, or you've dated a woman and been confused as to what exactly, was maybe turning her on or turning her off, or what you're doing right and wrong, tonight is all about that, and we're going to answer those questions. So
we're just going to be getting both sides of discussion, because we give all kinds of advice, but why should you believe us, right?
We're very biased because we're men.
Exactly.
So we've finally gotten the other sex to come in and give their 2 cents, and hopefully we can even it out a little bit and find some common ground. So yeah, I'm not sure where we plan on starting this discussion at.
The discussion is what women want. Yeah. This is something that guys don't know. Basically, in general, period. Mm-hmm. Guys don't know this. There's a famous quote by Sigmund Freud, and he says that in all my 30 years of being a psychoanalyst, inventing psychology, the one question I've not been able to answer is what do women want, and it's a mystery to guys, right? Mm-hmm. So what do women want?
Everything.
Everything. That's
everything.
Good.
That's accurate.
Yeah,
that's an accurate answer.
That's really.
I think it's the only thing you could say and actually have it be considered an accurate answer.
So
right.
I don't know if we're going to answer this question comprehensively, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We got some cool questions to talk about. So we're going to be talking about things like respect. Do women want a guy with experience? What's the right number to answer? Beards, cologne, texting, teasing women. What are the things that guys think women like, but they actually really hate? I can't say that yet. What are the topics you should never bring up? Stuff like that. So those are the kinds of questions we're going to go over, and we're all going to be giving answers. It's not just going to be a little bit about Alexandra, but
yeah. And also, as always, this is of course a live call-in show. So if you have a question you want us to answer, if you want to call in. You can do so. There's information in the chat panel there to do if you wanted to do that. And we are more than willing to answer your questions live on air. So, first things first. Chris, what do we got as our first question? What is the first topic we want to tackle?
Well, okay. I mean, we can... let's talk about what are the things that guys think women like, but they don't.
That's a good one.
Let's start with you, Derek.
Yeah.
Let's start with you.
Sure.
I don't want to put you on the spot too much here. You get some time to think.
Okay.
Guys think women like that they don't. So one thing that I would say, and this is something, because we were talking earlier about this too, is when we were brainstorming ideas for the show. And one thing that got brought up that I agree with is that a lot of guys like and really like a white knight, like he's all about like, it's I wouldn't want to say that though because there's women would disagree with that. And this whole idea that women want a guy who is sort of like really, is wearing his, has like a bleeding heart for feminism and women's issues and things like that, which is not to say you got to be the opposite of that. But I think when you go over and above trying to communicate to the girl that you're like really for that cause, it actually communicates the opposite, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I think that if you're like trying to underline that you're like totally for, I don't know, women's rights, or you've heard that she likes something, and so you try to, really say, oh yeah, like I love, ponies too. Yeah. She's gonna be like, I don't believe you.
You're disagreeing with me.
Yeah, and I think, as women, we want someone who we can talk to, but also someone who maybe we can have a debate with, or, it's not just give it everything because they'll, to like them, for example.
Or somebody who has integrity and thinks for themselves.
Yeah.
It's like a deception is what it is. They're like, I'm saying this because I think that's what you want to hear, so I'm going to say what you want to hear.
Just authenticity.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit recently.
Yeah.
That's right.
So here's a question. So do women like nice guys? This sort of relates to the same
I
question.
think nice guys finish last for the most part.
That's heartless. Most people aren't willing to say that.
No, I think, I'm just going to be honest. I think that's, I know a lot of nice guys, and a lot of the time they'll end up in the friend zone. Mm-hmm. And actually not because they're actually that nice guys, but because they do exactly what you were talking about, that they give the girl exactly what she wants. I think being nice is like, a weird word because we think of nice as like, oh, he's so nice.
Yeah.
But it's actually, it's putting on nice. It's putting on something, right? Which is
right.
which is an integrity.
Like wearing the mask of nice.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a nice guy necessarily to his core. It's like he wears the mask of nice.
Yeah,
because
he's giving me everything I want.
And the other thing is when you call somebody nice, you're kind of damning them with faint praise. Like if that's the only thing that somebody can say
like a
about
very
you,
terrible thing. Yeah.
it's not actually a very good compliment. It's like, oh well, he's not a serial killer.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, don't know too much about him except that, well, he probably doesn't like kill animals.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, well, that's cool. Sounds like a great guy. Why don't you set me up?
Yeah.
No, that's not what you think.
No.
All right. Now, okay. So, how about do women like being asked what they want to do? Like you're on a date. What do you want to do?
I'm going to let you answer this one.
No. In terms of, hey, where do you want to go? Hey, what do you think would be fun? I think it gives us a lot of anxiety. I think you kind of want the guy to know what he wants to take, like to give you an option maybe. So like, would you like to do something fun or something more relaxed? Staying in tonight, maybe we don't go out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I was thinking this. And they're like, yes. I think a lot of it is having like a yes or no answer. I think that's kind of a weird thing to say, but
you're feeling shy tonight, you want to get out of your shell, if you want to go crazy tonight, you want to keep it more reserved, yeah, it's
like yes or no. Are you feeling this? Yes. Are you feeling this? No. And I think if you take the responsibility away from us, we feel more comfortable.
A lot of guys get frustrated with that too, because they're like, I think like, you know, younger guys and new guys in the dating scene, because they're thinking, why do I have to come up with all the ideas?
Right.
Why do I have to be the one that sets the plans? But it's not really about that. It's not about you having to set the plans. It's about you being decisive and you being confident enough in knowing that what you're going to suggest is going to be good, that you're willing to suggest it. And it's not to say that she can't say, oh, I don't want to do that, and you guys come together and figure something out. That's fine. But to simply say, I don't know, what do you want to do, is not really giving any effort. And it's not about you not knowing, it's about the fact that you didn't give any effort and you weren't putting any thought towards it. And that says something else.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say.
So yeah, the secret is you don't ask her what she wants to do. Instead, you suggest something that she wants to do, and it has to be the thing that she would have picked. Or it helps if it's the thing that she would have picked.
Yeah.
It's like a birthday present. It's like you can't ask her, what do you want for a birthday present?
That's
you
a really
have to
good
pick
example.
a birthday present, but it has to be just right. You can't just pick. You can't pick something you like.
No.
Right? You can't be yo, here's a Hulk Hogan like original T-shirt from 1988.
Like
you know?
that.
Yeah.
She might like it. She might like it. You got your WWF
my Wonder Woman necklace. Yeah, I might like the
Wonder Woman. So that's not professional wrestling.
That's not.
Who's Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
What? That
Who
really
is Wonder
does
Woman?
look like WWF.
Yeah.
No, it's Wonder. Who is she?
Yeah.
She's a superhero.
Okay. All right. We're getting some good. We're getting some questions here in the chat, which we're going to get into in just a little bit, but also some good conversation going on here.
Yeah.
I might have to pause the stream for a second and restart it to see if we can, because we're having some sound sync issues apparently. According to people.
Is there guys? Can you hear us?
Let us know if you got any problems with the audio or the sound. But let's just keep on going.
I'm going to assume it's good comments.
I presume everything's going good. Everybody's saying, this is great. This is the best show ever. Thanks, guys. No problem. From us to you. Okay, how about this? Do women want respect?
Yes.
RESPECT.
Yeah, tell me what it means to me. Yes, they do want respect, but I have this theory. What?
I want to hear this.
I have this theory. I have this theory that women want respect, but just less than the respect you give yourself.
Yeah? Does that make sense?
That's something everyone should
But like,
feel.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I'm saying which was what we were talking about earlier, right? About
But you have to respect yourself.
Yeah.
You have to respect yourself, which means like not doing everything for her.
I've always said what a woman wants is a guy whose life would be just as good with or without her in it. And the idea behind that being like if he respects himself and he is just going throughout the course of his life, and if you're a part of that, that's great, and he'll respect you to be a part of it, but primary focus is his stuff. And of course it changes once you get into a relationship, married and all that. But if a guy sees you as like more important than his own life,
yes,
I would think that's a very negative thing. Be like, wait a sec, why am I more important? what have you got going on where I'm the best thing in your life? I don't want to be a part of that.
When you become a man's world, it becomes very scary.
Yeah.
Because you know that if you decide to leave or something were to happen, that like his world would like crumble.
Yeah.
That's very scary. I think.
And dudes are crazy with that shit too.
Like, yeah, I'm like you know, and I think it becomes really unhealthy at that point as well. Mm-hmm. So you're right, but I do think that like if a woman comes into a man's life, she also wants to feel that she adds and makes it better, like that he has a life, right?
He has
yeah. So like,
all right, I'm gonna just pause this for a second. I'm gonna pause this. Let's see, guys, we just paused the stream and we restarted. So hopefully. Now that we're back, everything's going to be synced up a little bit better. Let us know in the chat if that is working for you or if that is not working for you so well. And yeah, let's just keep on going. So we were talking about, you were saying that you want a guy who respects you, but also respects himself. Mm-hmm. And you were kind of saying, what was your definition you were given here?
I was saying that a woman wants a guy whose life would be great with or without her in it. And of course, if she was a part of it, there would be some bonuses to that. She could be, part of that now too, and make it better from her contribution. But by no means does she want to be a part of a guy's life in which it's only really about her. Like she's bringing all the value to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys take that. They think that somehow that's what women want. They go on a date and they're like, oh, women want to be like the princesses, and it's all about them, and I got to change everything in my life to be about them, and that's what they want. But it's not what they want. As far as I'm concerned, and so that's I think the misconception guys get about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
And like similarly, you can't expect her to not have make her like she makes you her world either.
That's right.
Like you want to make sure that you each have your own separate lives, and then when you collaborate, it's better together, right?
Yeah,
like that's the healthy way to go about it.
No, you're absolutely right. And a lot of guys get hung up about that, but I always want to tell them, like, look, man. You don't want a woman who's like sees you as her whole life.
No.
That's like annoying because now all of a sudden like you got friends, you want to go do things, you got stuff part of your life, like prepare for a battle every time you got to spend time away from her. Mm-hmm. Because if you're her whole life, that's all she's going to really get for socialization and anything else. So you're who she goes to for that. And that's not a fun thing to be. So you want someone who's got their own life too. You got your own life. You guys come together and it's harmony, right? Mm-hmm. What you don't want is someone who sees you as the best part of that, and then you got a bad vibe there. So
okay. So we're getting some questions from the from our YouTube chat from the people who are here live. So let's go into one of these questions. So here's one question that's a good one. Do women want a big dick, Derek?
Well, I would say yes, of course. Mm-hmm. In all honesty, I've actually talked to a lot of women about this because it is a question that a lot of our clientele come to us with. Mm-hmm. And the feedback that I've gotten is that it's big in and of itself isn't necessarily the only factor. There's thickness, there's length, there's different ways to measure bigness, but really it comes down to how it's used. And I would say if you have a micro penis, I think it's the actual clinical term, a micro penis, that is an issue for a lot of women. But otherwise, I hope you have a great personality because that could make up the difference. Maybe not. Depends on the girl. I don't know.
Do you want my answer with this?
Yes.
Okay, so I like to think of dick size the same as boob size.
Yeah, okay.
So there isn't really anything you can do about it unless you like take the pills. I don't even know if that's a thing, like if that works or not. There's really, it's genetic, okay? Mm-hmm. And so...
Do the pills work, guys?
I don't know if that's a thing.
If anybody has used pills and they've worked, please comment in the...
Hold on, I have a question.
In the chat.
So you said dick size is like boob size. I've always equated height to boob size, which I think is better.
It's another one, yes.
But the reason why I'm asking this is because there are guys out there that are really into small boobs, right?
Fine.
Are there women out there that are into small dicks? That's my question. Like really.
And what are their phone numbers?
Listen, this is what I think. Women are made differently. Mm-hmm. Women can take certain sizes differently. If you have a huge penis and she can't take it, that is not fun for anybody because then you can't have like full out sex and she's going to be in pain and so you're not having good sex. So there are women out there who don't want a huge penis because they want it to be able to like go in all the way.
Right.
So if you have a micro penis and you find someone who also can't take a large penis, you might be really symbiotic. Is that the
symbiotic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So I
close
think
enough.
and then like at the same token, if you know what you're doing, or you know how to compensate,
Get a good tongue.
Yeah, good tongue, or you know how to like hit her good spot.
That's
Have a lot of money.
And you just throw cash at her every once in a while. No.
The machine that shoots it at her.
Yeah, I think there's a huge misconception though that like every woman wants a big dick.
So if you have a dick that is like 8 inches in diameter and a 1/4 inch long, like it's a slice of bologna, as long as you have everything else going on, you should be okay.
I'm just saying, find someone who can take your girth.
I just want someone to imagine a slice of bologna as a penis.
I was having a hard time picturing what you were. It was very circular. Yeah, I don't.
I always get bologna sliced, so I don't even know what it looks
okay,
like
so you're
when
talking like
when
this
it's
way.
whole.
I thought you were talking.
No. I'm literally like, you take a bologna and you slice a little piece and put it in a sandwich. That piece and you put it there. That's what the visual was trying to create.
All right.
You did good.
Thank you.
Good question. We got some good questions. The real important questions getting asked
Bologna
from
bits.
from the chat box here. So another guy wanted to ask, what about a guy with experience? That's some guys. Some guys are like, one, I have very little experience with women. Is that a big problem? Are they going to like it? Or I have a lot of experience with women. Is that a big problem? Are women going to like it?
I think the answer to that is just never be honest about it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes it's okay to like white lie. If you're, you've slept with only one person before, I wouldn't suggest saying that.
I've always found when women ask this question, it's less about the actual answer and more about how you answer it.
And it's literally becomes about her. It's about her. That question is all about her.
It's mostly due to their own insecurities, I would think.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I always told guys, like, look, if a woman asks you, how many women have you been with, the first reaction you should have is, I always want to know why. So a woman's asking, I'm like, that's an interesting question. Why do you want to ask, right? But even if they really press you for the answer, which I don't recommend giving, because if it's low, it's bad. If it's high,
always bad.
Just
it's
say,
bad. It's in the middle, it's bad.
I know what I'm doing, but I don't have any STDs or illegitimate children.
And I believe in condoms.
That's good.
There you go. Does that answer your question? Yes,
I've never heard of contraceptives. I have a baloney penis, and I'm willing to meet your mother. Please,
and grandmother.
Please call me back.
Yeah.
Tinder profile.
Yeah. That doesn't work.
I think that women will minus their number and men will up their number, and so the answer doesn't matter because there's lying all throughout. So I would always just suggest avoiding that question if you can.
Is the rule of 3 true?
I think it is.
It is? The rule of 3 is the idea that men exaggerate their number of sexual partners by 3. And that women divide their number of sexual partners by 3.
I think it's true. I don't go by that, but
it's true, except for me.
Except for me, and I just think I'm very much about being honest about that kind of stuff because I don't have any shame. I think there's a lot of shame that comes with that question though as well, especially as a woman.
Well, especially maybe if you've done a whole lot of shameful things. You might have more shame than somebody who did fewer shameful things.
Maybe, but I think there is an element of how many people you've slept with. There's maybe an element of shame, whether it's low or high, depending on who you are.
It's hard as a man because we don't understand where those lines of shame start and end. Because it's hard to tell as a man. We think and I used to tell guys, all right, look, if you're 20 years old, 18 to 20, anything under 10 is probably okay, unless it's 1 maybe. But, if you're getting above 10, it can get tricky. If you're only 18, 20. And when you get to 25, then it's you should be in maybe 20 to 30 would probably be a pretty Lothario kind of dude. And then when you're, 30 or in your 30s like me, you probably should be thinking about marriage and stuff. And if you're not, maybe you're Clooneying it for most of your life, then you get into numbers that could be kind of tricky. So best to avoid that conversation at that point, and don't really divulge those. But I've been on dates with women that have been very upfront about those numbers, and sometimes they've been like, "Oh, I'm 85," and
what is your response?
She worked in a Amsterdam brothel, so it was
it
was really 80.
No wonder you're poor.
3. She just started. No,
seriously. You can't even buy an electric bicycle for that amount of money.
Not even
or
an
a
electric
juicer.
Or a juicer.
$400
$400 juicers. YouTube it. No, but I've been on dates with women that have been honest about it, and it's been kind of refreshing. But I think you guys are right. For the most part, they tend to give the safe answer.
But as a guy, when you give your answer, do women divide it by 3? So should you multiply it by 3 if you really want to tell the truth?
Yeah, I wonder. I want to say yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if people actually. I don't know if a lot of people know about the 3 rule.
3. So like if you say that if you're a guy and you say like I've slept with 3 women in my life, the woman's gonna go.
You're a virgin.
You're
a
virgin, or you still hung up on your high school girlfriend or something like that.
I passed the point of feeling like I needed to count them a while ago, and I don't really think it matters so much. For me, sex is like a normal, positive thing, and to associate any sort of like feeling towards a number, I think, is kind of strange and makes it. You look at sex in a really
That's a great evasive answer.
Non-serious.
Well, the only thing that's non-evasive about that is I stopped counting because it means that it's over a countable amount.
Which is my subtle communication that I'm.
So many brothels. Yeah.
So many of those brothels. I only paid 80% of the time. Just for everyone watching, including my wife. I've never paid for sex.
How many doors are there in the red light district?
728.
Actually?
No.
Okay.
All right. So the answer it really is, guys. Always tell the truth.
Always.
That's the real answer. But jokes are funny. All right. And what about experience? Is experience like what's a good number? What's a good number for a guy to have?
I guess
we just went over that, right?
But we didn't. We didn't give the number. What's a good number, Derek?
Just a couple dozen.
Couple dozen.
Couple dozen. Yeah, I think a couple dozen is safe.
A few dozen.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
A couple dozen.
I think,
it's also vague.
So like
Maybe they won't have to calculate it.
10 to 20, you're like not gonna. That's a very safe zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
that's a safe zone.
I think once you get into your third.
A couple dozen is 24. If you're my age, I'm 34. That's like. I'm not gonna math.
It's only 0.7.
That's not very many women a year. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean.
Also, I think when women ask that question, they're asking you because they think you sleep around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually think.
That's another.
Or if you're a player,
probably fewer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good answer. As well.
Fewer than you think. Because that's one thing I noticed. Women, if you have good game. If you're smooth and confident, women presume you just get laid like crazy, and they presume that it's much easier than it often is for guys to get laid. So they just think like, oh, this guy must be doing this. If he met me on Tinder and we went on one date, and I'm already thinking of sleeping with him, then he must do this 365 days a year, and sometimes you have a job, so you can only do it 2 or 3 times a week.
Wait.
Only no.
If I'm a chick, I'm on a date, and I'm like, how many women have you slept with? And you say fewer than you think, and I say like 3. You'd be like,
it's just the conversation is not worth having. I think
as long as your guess was less than 1.
And I don't ever think, as a man, you should ever bring it up. If she asks, then like find a way to answer it.
Has a guy ever told you how many sexual partners he's had, and like you were disappointed?
Triggered.
I don't even want to get into
Triggered.
Yes, it happened once, and
disappointed.
And it was a stupid. This is just not a conversation getting into.
I don't think you're ready for this number.
Yeah.
What's the number? 7.
I was in the Navy. We went all around the world. 7. Okay. Beards. Yes or no? Yes or no?
I think you should ask the bearded guy. I think he's
the bearded guy is definitely
the most non-biased opinion right here. Right here. Here's my my reasoning for beard. I go beard, non-beard. Anyone who watches this live show knows that. Some days I get a beard, some days I don't. My problem is that when I shave, I get a 5 o'clock shadow within the hour.
Me too.
Yeah, one of the first things I noticed about you is,
yeah.
So my wife is like, don't fucking shave, because if you shave and you try to kiss me, I'm getting a rash, and forget makeouts and anything else, because it's just rash everywhere. So for me, once my beard gets past like 4 weeks or something, no more rash. So I usually keep it because of that. It's for my wife. I love her, and I want to make sure she doesn't get a rash. If you're single, it's up. I would say it depends on what your face looks like, what kind of beard you can grow. If you grow a patchy, disgusting like rat beard like Chris, then I don't recommend you growing a beard. But if you grow a really nice, full, luxurious, sexy beard,
I feel like he's talking about himself here.
like I imagine Alex could grow a beard, you should definitely grow a beard.
You should definitely see my beard. I think the rule of thumb is if you're gonna grow a beard, shampoo it and take care of it.
Yes.
And have it smell good.
That's good advice.
And you gotta put oils in it.
Just
Like,
take care
No,
of it.
no. I disagree
Rubbing-
with that. I don't know if you agree with that, but I disagree.
Essential oils.
I had a friend got me oils, and literally you put oils in your beard. Now you got a greasy ass beard.
How much oil did you put in?
All of it. You put all of it in. It's not, like,
That's what you're doing wrong.
well, it was olive oil or something.
Was it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
Yeah, salad oil. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is I
Russian
got
dressing.
really greasy, and I smelled like salad dressing the rest of the day.
So don't do that.
So don't do that.
Don't buy the oil that Derek
Anyway,
bought.
it's a bad idea. That's all I wanted to say.
Here's what I find with beards. Have we even asked you? Have you given an answer to this question yet?
I just said keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Because what I find is that women always, whatever it is, they complain about what you have.
Yes.
And then when you change it, they also complain about that. And then, aside from that, it doesn't make a difference.
So
the best thing is don't change it.
Yeah.
Then,
So
then you just get a little bit more complaining.
So when my boyfriend gets a haircut,
Okay.
I complain every time he goes to get a haircut. It literally, and it's not even because it changes. I just know that there's going to be a change. So I'm like, oh no, your hair is going to be short.
Yeah.
Why that matters, I have no idea.
As a guy, I can't get a haircut without looking like a lesbian for at least a few weeks. It just doesn't
Can
work.
confirm.
It doesn't happen. Every time you get a haircut, I automatically look like a lesbian for a few weeks. Nothing against lesbians. It's just that for some reason, when you get a new haircut as a guy, it just looks bad for at least a couple weeks.
Unless you go someplace where they know how to cut your hair.
I go to the local lesbian. She does a really good job. But, it doesn't matter because it still looks bad regardless.
All right. Cologne.
Cologne.
How much should you wear?
Enough that we're not fainting when we're close to you.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, not enough. Sorry, yeah.
Get to that point and just do one bit less than that. And
So
that's
just
perfect.
a little bit less than a faint.
I think you need to wear it to smell good. Ooh.
Old Spice.
Old Spice. What do they do? Like ride a unicorn out of the room or something? Isn't that the ad?
I mean, I don't buy it for the advertisements.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then. I
I
have
don't know what they
nothing
do.
for that.
I don't believe in
I don't know what
This-
they do.
I think-
Sorry, I'm bad at improv, so
No.
I shut down.
Yeah, no, yes, and. Yes, and.
Yes.
Wear it if you want to wear it. I think that's fine. I think you just don't overdo it. We want to, you know what we want? As women, I think we want to like smell it when we just get close enough that it's like intimate and we're like, oh wow, he smells so good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like when I walk by you, I'm like, holy crap, I can't see.
So you've never been like, let's say, walking through the mall and been like, whoa, that guy smells really sexy, and like followed him into, the GameStop.
No, I have
Okay,
never
stop.
done that. I know I have a big nose, but I've never followed my nose for that particular reason.
We set up the camera angle so that people don't know that.
I've been with women though that have said, and this is something I've always talked about, where it's not a joke. Guys, you need to put a lot of thought into your scent.
Yes.
Don't just go and get the thing that's the most popular, that's on sale or whatever. Put a lot of thought into it.
No Justin Bieber.
And it actually helps to bring a woman, not that all women are the same and like the same sense, but certainly the thing that you might think is the best smelling thing from a male's point of view of scent is not necessarily the best thing that women are going to find.
And if you're going out with someone for like first couple times and she compliments your scent, don't
change it.
Don't change it. Don't, because then it might actually be the first reason why she approaches you or wants to talk to you.
Salad dressing.
That's probably why you haven't gotten that attention.
Perfect.
Yeah. All the chefs are coming your way.
Italian salad dressing.
Like, wow.
No, it's true. When you have that distinctive scent and you impress her, all of a sudden she gets hooked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
That's
becomes
totally
your
true.
scent, and it reminds her of you, so that when you wear it, it's like not only is she reminded of sort of, the nice smell of it, but also the fact that you guys have probably been intimate, and that's the scent that she associates with that, and it's all good stuff.
I dated a guy like a while ago, and he had the most amazing scent, and I kept going back. Like he was lovely, but also I think the reason I kept going back was because he smelled so good. Yeah. So, and it wasn't too much. Yeah.
Smell, by the way, if you didn't know this, is the sense that is most tied to memory out of anything else. So it can bring back not only memories the easiest, but also the most visceral memories. So it's more important than you may think.
What does visceral mean?
Just like really emotional and real and.
I think it must like slap
I thought it
you
meant
to
like
tell you.
thick,
Yeah.
Like
thick
visceral.
and like sort of slimy and sludgy. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well,
So now that you
actually
tell me
visceral.
emotional, that makes more sense. But I think it's thick and slimy actually.
I actually don't know what it means.
very
I made that up.
So a lot of guys ask you about texting. All right,
Oh.
texting. How many pages should you text a girl?
About the same amount you write for an English essay. No.
7?
8?
How many thousands of words?
No,
Let's make it easier.
I would say 2 sentences. Or at least get 1 point across. Don't try and get 10 across all at once.
Okay. Okay.
And always use emojis when you're texting women.
That's
I always,
okay. Why always use emojis?
This is
'Cause we
a
talked
good
about
one.
this on camera.
Yeah,
This is,
because emojis explain the intonation of what you're saying, and if you're sarcastic and you don't put an emoji, it might just sound rude.
So the reason is because women are often insecure.
They're
And
gonna
when
get
you,
insulted.
and if you don't use emojis and you say something sarcastic, it's just going to be like, they'll be like, wait, does he really hate me?
Yeah, why is it taking such a dark turn all of a sudden when
Yes.
really there is no point that it should take a dark turn?
Could
but-
this be taken a negative way? Yes, it could.
Emoji.
Therefore, that must be what the way that it meant.
I always presume that people don't get sarcasm at all over the internet or over text or anything like that. Like, they need a smiley face all the time, because I've said the most outrageous sarcastic things, and people have taken it completely seriously.
I
Like
swear-
that time that I proposed just killing off all millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were they were organizing a protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put an emoticon on that, but you didn't mean to.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
that was-
didn't. I know.
That was supposed to be serious.
And that really ruined our plans.
That did.
When they took that seriously.
Yeah.
I know that some guys though don't like using the emojis that are like on your phone, you know, like the little yellow guys or whatever,
Yep,
and because
yeah.
they don't think it's manly or something. So if you need to use an emoji, you can use like the colon bracket emoji style too.
Is that a more like sophisticated masculine kind
It's
of
more like
emoji?
masculine, I think. I don't know. I don't think that, but
I learned to text when I was like 32.
Oh wow.
So I'm old.
You
Just
still doing it
reiterate
with
that a
your
bunch.
index finger?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
The thing about texting I gotta say is that, one, I'm a maritimer, so I swear a lot. And I found that when I text swear words, people tend to take them as like extreme frustration or something. Because someone will say something like, oh, blah, 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 bad thing happened to me today. And I'll be like, oh, shit. And then they'll think I say like, oh, shit! Like, fuck, shit! Like the worst thing ever. Like I'm screaming at them. And sometimes they're like, oh, calm down. It's not that bad. I'm like, no, I was just like, oh, shit. But the thing is, people can't tell context without emoticons. This is this culture we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put them. So throw in a smiley face, throw in a black Santa,
only throw in a winky face if you know she's okay with that. I know that sounds very strange.
What?
Yeah, winky faces are always innuendos.
You need to explain your face. Oh, okay.
So if you say like, yeah, I'd love to come over, winky face, it means something very different than yeah, I'd love to come over, smiley face, which is stupid but
Yeah, that makes
unfortunate.
sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When is it okay to send nude photos of yourself to the other person on Snapchat?
Not as a hello.
Not as a hello.
Yeah,
what if you look really good?
Yeah.
What if you look really good?
Yeah.
Then take it and send it later.
What if it's like a family picture?
No, go ahead, Derek. Please finish that
you
thought.
have
Can't
a
even-
very
can't even.
weird family.
In Scandinavia, that's really normal.
Oedipus
All right,
complex.
in Finland and in Sweden, sending a sauna photo of your family like Christmas sauna is like totally normal.
So that's how you would open the date? Like,
I
here's
think-
me, my mom, and
Smiley
my dog.
face.
There's sarcasm
Wait.
there, but I actually think that might be true. This is the weird thing about Scandinavian countries.
Somebody from Scandinavia, please answer
comment
this
now.
question. Is sending a photo of yourself in the sauna naked considered inappropriate?
It's not considered sexual if it's in the sauna.
Exactly.
That's a
The
sacred
thing
place.
is, though, like, you're talking about a completely different country where, like, sexuality over here is much different than sexuality there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true.
yeah.
We may have Scandinavian viewers that are getting really offended right now by that comment.
They bud in Scandinavia. They go into the forests and like
I don't know
little
what that means.
mushrooms.
Is that where they grow? Is that where they come from?
Yeah.
They're Scandinavian
So
people.
they don't have the stork story. They have the mushroom story.
Yeah. They pop out of mushrooms.
Perfect.
Mushrooms, giant
That's how I would
mushrooms
expect.
burst Scandinavian and stuff.
Definitely how
And they
IKEA
come out-
was started. That's
Yeah. They come out.
I read that in a book. All right. We got more questions. So texting. Is there more to say about texting, or should we just?
I think there is. I would say when you're texting, just to go back to our previous point.
What about? Okay, so emojis are cool. What about like weird things like question marks and periods?
And
like just as a
like proper like
Does that make you look? Does that make you look like really lame? Like a total dweeb, and you should just
you had a great story about this.
Make one word with no spaces even?
Yeah, so I would say use proper grammar. Like the word well and wheel is very different. So if you say like well figure it out or we'll figure it out, that could be a very different thing.
You're speaking from personal experience.
From experience. It sounds very demanding if you say well figure it out as opposed to like we'll figure it out, team. But I do think that periods, and this is, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but periods, like in grammar, come off as really direct and kind of curt. So if you say, we'll see, period, it sounds angry all the time. If you say like, get over it, period. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying to think of something that isn't negative. Like, I did it, period. It's just like, okay.
I did it.
It's very ending. So I would suggest
you're dumped. Period.
As opposed to like.
As opposed to you're dumped. Like period. Let's have sex later.
Yeah.
And then it's like okay, sure.
Or like
when should you use circonflexe and accent aigu?
Only in French.
Right. Okay.
I'm not even going to speak French. We know how that went last time.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would use question marks and apostrophes.
Anybody? Okay, we're taking questions. We're going to be taking some questions also via the Google Hangouts. So if you want to ask us a question via audio, live, join on to the Google Hangouts. Sarah's sharing the link in the chat there. And you can talk to Sarah, tell her what question you want to ask, and she'll set you up so that you can ask us live on air. And, all right. And what about okay, because you wanted to talk about this, negging.
Okay, so...
Because negging is a thing. I'm going to just introduce negging because we don't talk about this too much, but we have a long history. We're kind of responsible for negging, Derek and I.
Our company is. Not us.
And not us individually, but, negging is an old thing from the mystery method. It's the idea of, in one way it's the idea of like teasing a woman, which I think is decent, good advice, and just being kind of irreverent. The other one is like deliberately insulting her. Like, I don't like your nails, or your nice nails, where are they from, or whatever.
Where are they from?
Where are they from?
No, because you can get fake nails. Hold on, he's got
nice nails. Are they real? That's the one.
Where are they from?
Where are they from? Which is something we've not taught for a very long time, and we consider kind of silly. But there is a place I think for teasing a little bit. But what do you think about? Do you get guys negging you when you go out to bars?
I've experienced that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I think they are just behind on the times. I don't know. I'm not saying they're old. I think they just read something that was like from years ago, and I think it works. Negging doesn't work. I don't think. I think women are kind of know about it now, so they're just kind of thrown off guard. But also, I had a guy come up to me and go, "Wow, that's an ugly jacket," and my response was, "Okay, thank you. Why are we talking? Like, I have no inclination to continue this conversation." And I just said, "Okay, you're an ass."
I wonder if he was nagging you or he's just an asshole.
No, because I think you could tell he's got that whole like
say
hey
something.
Baby, you're ugly. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, God, want to go home with you.
Yeah. Like, at what point does this turn positive for me?
Yeah. So it just didn't work, and I said, "Are you negging me?" And he like short circuited. He's like, how do you know that term? And then I was like, because this isn't gonna work. So yeah, I don't think do it. Definitely tease, but there's a line, you know. And I also clear when you're being like teasing and when you're just being mean.
Yeah, I think that there's teasing. You need sort of an established, idea of where those boundaries are before you can start doing that.
Yeah, like read the room. You know, like is she like very into it, or she got her stone-faced bitch face on? Yeah, like I'm not into this. Stop.
I've met women within a few minutes where like ribbing each other hard, and it's all in good fun. And I've met other women where like I try a little bit to push that, and they don't get it, and I don't keep doing it because that would be, unless I'm a masochist, why would I do that? And that's just sort of the misinterpretation of negging, was that at some point I guess Eric Mystery, did it and it got a good reaction, and he decided that was great for all women, regardless of any social context or any sort of established relationship or anything. Just overall, just great. Use it whenever. And that is 100% wrong. Mm-hmm. So it can be good, at least the idea of it. Like when you know someone and you have those boundaries established and you can rib each other and it's in good fun, then by all means do that. And that can create a lot of, good, I don't know if it's attraction, but it's certainly a positive feeling. But don't feel like you just go up to any girl and be like, your hair looks like bullshit.
Yeah. Why did you shower today?
Expect that to go well. I mean,
I did.
Yeah, exactly. And you smell nice, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. All right. So we got a question from. Let me just check here to make sure I'm not going to get feedback. So we got a question here from Chuck. Chuck,
I haven't heard from him before.
Chuck.
Where is he?
I'm gonna.
Where's my red-headed stepchild?
Oh, he's muted, and I can't unmute him right now.
Oh.
Why is
Sorry, Chuck.
Chuck, are you there?
Sarah, are you there?
Sarah, can you unmute Chuck?
Sarah's muted right now, I can see, and Chuck is muted.
All right.
So,
hey, there we go.
Chuck.
How you doing, Chuck? Oh, it was working for a second.
Now she's muted again, or he's muted again.
Sarah, can you unmute Chuck? Hey.
How's this? No, I think I was muting myself.
Hey, there you go. All right, we got you. How's it going, Chuck? So you had a question for us.
Wait, bring him up.
No,
you wrote it in the chat.
You don't even know what you're doing, Chuck.
Are you high?
Dude. What are you talking about?
Number one fan. I love Chuck. All right, Chuck. Do you have a question?
I would like to hear more about the texting and that kind of thing. Like I personally try to use text as little as possible, unless to be like meeting up or something. Just because I feel like I'm really bad at it, because I go over and like I just send 700 texts in a row, and then it doesn't work out very well sometimes. And so I'm just wondering, is there any real way to I don't know, just what is the best way to handle something like that?
Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to texting, you should, obviously you have your life, and so so text when you can text, and then don't text when you're doing something. I feel like if you're nervous about it, I would just take an hour maybe, or maybe 30 minutes. Focus your time to the text and say, hey, I'm busy now, I'll talk to you later.
I've always said this, and tell me if you think this is the same thing as true. Even though text is a purely logical communication device in the sense that the message that is sent is only the ones that appear on the screen, but I truly think the emotion that you have when you send a text, to a certain extent, gets transmitted. And if you are feeling really insecure and really needy and whatever, and you send a text, and to a certain extent, I think that gets communicated a little bit. And I think logically you can look at it you chose bad words and bad, grammar and whatnot, and that's what did it. But I still think that my best text, because I've sent things when I've been in a great mood that I looked at and they're that is a stupid text, but whatever, I don't care. And sent it, and it came across great. And I sent texts where I was in a really needy, negative place, and sent a text that I was this sounds perfect, and it didn't get a response. And the only way I can sort of make that make sense in my head is that there is an emotional communication that gets sent. I don't know how, but
well, I also think too, how you're responding to someone is always emotional, right?
Yeah.
So the response that you give is going to be emotional regardless. Mm-hmm. But I think the rule of thumb, especially if you're nervous about how much you're sending, is send a sentence or two. And when I mean sentence, I don't mean run on. I mean hey, how you doing? Just got home from work. That would be a good text. And then wait for a response. And waiting for a response does two things. One, if you don't get one, don't keep going. And two, it doesn't make you needy, right? You're just waiting for them to respond. And two, it gets a conversation going. So if you're going back and forth, then you don't come off as bad at texting because you're just, waiting.
Yeah, I think that's an important one, because you don't want to sort of do the double text where you text and then you don't get a response, and then you
keep going. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, maybe here's a little bit more. So you want that first text to have everything that needs to be in there.
Yeah,
but keep it nice and short, and
the only thing I would say, like, if you're gonna double text, it's because to correct like a spelling error. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you send 2 texts like immediately after one another, where they're clearly part of the same thought.
Yes.
I found this.
Chuck, thanks so much, man, for calling in. We got another call.
Wait! I want to answer something to Chuck. Chuck.
Yeah. I'm still here.
I found a great picture the other day, and it's of a flower growing out of a piece of poop on the street, and I think
it reminded me of you.
Yeah, and I think you should use that and send that to women.
I love that one. That's a good one. Thanks.
Derek's gonna send you.
I'll send you that picture.
He'll
Chuck.
send you that
Love
picture.
it. It's a beautiful flower.
All right, man. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another question. So somebody asked via the Google Hangouts. Let's see, where's the question here? Somebody asked via the Google Hangouts. Trying to read it.
I cannot read that. That is so far away from me.
He's got.
What do women want besides sex? How do you reward them for being good and providing value in your life?
That is a really involved question.
Okay.
Besides sex.
I mean,
besides
what
sex.
do women like? In a relationship.
They want to be taken care of, but not too much. This is going to be very very back and forth. You know what? I think
reliability and consistency.
Reliability, consistency, and they want to feel like they're important. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's.
Put in an effort, but don't sacrifice your life completely to her. But sex is very important.
I mean, really, when you think about it, besides sex, what do women really want from?
What do you want out of the car besides speed?
It's a very good metaphor.
It's got to be reliable. It's got to get you to your shit. Yeah, you want the fun shit too, but that doesn't really matter if it's not reliable and it's not going to start when you get up.
And they want to be able to communicate. I think is a huge thing. Like they want to be felt listened to, and that you will remember what they said. And that's really hard. It's really hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
You have to remember what they said.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to have to.
Also, sometimes
that's really hard.
Sometimes she doesn't actually say anything. She just thinks she said something, like she thought it.
Well, I'm saying things like
I told you that, and like, no, you did not tell me that. Well, I thought about telling you that. Well, that's not the same thing, is it?
That's different. But if she's hey, like Saturday, I have this thing, and it's like really important to me, and if by Saturday you don't remember that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So they want to be listened to.
Yeah, you should be. If they're like, only use these towels when you're drying the dishes, and you forget to do that for the 10th time.
I mean, that's.
Towel's a towel.
Just towel's a towel. Yeah, like I don't
differentiate between patterns. Plaid is for the pots.
I don't. Towels, yeah. They also probably want to be told a little bit what to do. That sounds awful, and I'm sure people would say, but like, I think
so.
There's a little bit.
Let's see. What do we got for questions? We got. Here's a question, but I can't call. Oh, Omar can't call. Not in the USA. Should I just write it here? Yes. Write your. So Omar might be joining us in the call. Maybe not. Does anybody else have some questions in the YouTube chat? Type them in. We're gonna go through them. We've got some other questions we got here. How about dressing nice?
Dressing nice.
Yeah.
On a date?
I'd say just dress yourself like you care about yourself.
That's like my most important thing for myself.
Yeah. The holes in your shirt.
Yeah, Derek dresses himself. Derek dresses himself. He is not dressed by anyone else. So
I did this. Yeah. I did this to myself.
And I think, you know what, dress yourself for your body type. Don't look at macho man down the street and try and dress like him. Maybe you won't be so flattering. Like dress yourself so that you look good, but also feel good.
I base all my clothing on Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. So I'm offended that you said that.
Showing up with tassels.
Yeah.
Tied to your biceps.
Yeah, that's exactly. Tassels and the neon cowboy hats and the wraparound oil stained sunglasses.
You're an exception then.
All right, are there any topics that you just should not talk about with women? Where, like, on a date? With women, let's say first 3 dates.
I have
or
my
something
opinion
like
on that. And it's always, you probably disagree because you probably bring up all these subjects on the first date. It would be politics, religion, racism.
Yeah.
I break one
hentai
all the time. Hentai.
Japanese porn.
Dumpster sex. Don't bring it up.
Yeah. Any things that are just no-goes?
Yeah, I mean, I would say avoid like any kind of weird fetishes that you maybe wouldn't say on the first date.
Unless she's into them and you know that.
Yes. Yeah. I'd say like yeah.
What about exes?
That's a hard one. It depends how. I would say no, but it depends like how you're gonna talk about them. Yeah. Because if she's like, oh, I had this terrible experience with one of my exes, and you're like, oh yeah, me too. I had this one like years ago. Then fine. I still think that's a fine line.
I've always said if you bring up your ex on a date and you say stuff like, oh my god, she was the worst. Like she was crazy. She's like actually crazy and really fucked up. And she like killed my dog and stole my shit and blah blah blah. To a certain extent, a woman would be like, wow, that's crazy. But I think inside she's thinking like, it's like, what did you do to her to make her act that way?
What did you do to her, or what the hell were you doing dating?
Yeah, and why were you
such
dating
a crazy
her? Yeah,
person? And this is the same thing that happens when, like, if I'm on a date with a woman and she's like, my ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer.
He beat the shit out of me like my last three did. And
that doesn't make me go like, wow, sweet, I could beat that. Like, I'm like, no,
I would say
you're like,
don't
you
bring
judge.
it up. I would say don't bring it up, but I'd say if it comes up, then you can maybe just like say something and then nip it in the bud. Yeah. And then just
it's great. We broke up. We're still friends. We talk occasionally, but not really close and blah. Yeah.
But never say how hot she was or something like that.
Show a picture instead.
Yeah, look at her.
And I think it's totally something where you can just say like, honestly, I don't really feel like talking about exes. Let's enjoy this date and talk about something else. And you just cut it off. Because I've had women who I go on a date with and they want to talk about their ex. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you're boring the shit out of me. Let's stop doing this. Like I don't actually say you're boring the shit out of me, but I go, no, don't. I don't want to talk about this. I don't care about your ex. And I deliberately change the subject. And usually that's either fine or you're crazy, and you don't deal with the problem. You miss a bullet.
If a woman does that on a date and she does go off on her ex and it gets to the point where I'm thinking those things, I'm probably already just like, yeah, this is gonna work. Because if she's like me, like, I'm a guy, but
a lot of people don't realize that complaining about stuff makes them bad.
Complaining is the worst.
But also it makes them think like, okay, so if we enter, you're gonna talk about me like this as well. Like there's also that element. Like, okay,
you're not discreet at all. So.
Yeah.
How willing am I to get into a situation
like
with
you? So you're saying like if I kill your dog and burn your house down, you're gonna be shit talking me?
Deserves it. It's a shit dog, so definitely. It's one of the worst dogs.
Okay, so exes basically no. What else?
I think mental health is something to like stay away from.
Yeah.
On a first date especially.
What if you have like really good mental health?
Yeah. Well, we can be like, you should see my mental health. I even have a certificate about it. Well, then,
should you tell women your IQ before?
You have like an IQ of 85, and you're like
85.
I know, it's really high. So if you have an IQ of 85, I think average is like
100.
70.
100. I think.
When I was in high school, it was like 70.
Isn't it like moronic like 60?
What?
The average IQ of this show is a solid 85.
0. Yeah, like. I think in mental health, I think IQ, I think any kind of bragging. I think how much you go to the gym is just not a conversation. I think that's interesting.
So you shouldn't brag about your IQ?
No, I don't think so. Unless you, I don't know, no.
My IQ is 240.
Wow,
that's smarter than the aliens that built the pyramids.
Wow.
Holy shit! Really?
It's true. Yep.
And
smarter
what
than Einstein.
Website did you find this
smarter
on?
than Einstein and Abraham Lincoln combined.
How do we know the IQ of the aliens built the pyramid, Chris?
The website says so.
Slightly smarter than me.
Also, Abraham Lincoln's brain didn't last very long, so.
Oh, because he had Alzheimer's?
Yeah, that's why. Yes, and.
All right. Stop shit talking Abraham Lincoln, guys. Come on, he's one of the best presidents ever. Right? All right. Let's. Jesus, these guys. All right. Do we got any more? We got some more questions coming in here. Not about Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Why do women obsess over celebrities like Justin Bieber?
Good question.
God, I've never understood that, to be honest with you. I don't get that weird star star orgasm, like a lot of women do, it's because of the money and fame, I think. Because you can take a really, really ugly guy, give him money and fame, and girls will do that regardless. Yeah. So I think that's what it is.
I would say it's this: money, fame,
talent,
bad boy. I don't know if he's not really a bad boy, but he like gives off.
Justin Bieber specifically. I'm just talking in general, but I mean Justin Bieber just.
But this is a known thing. Having all those women screaming at him. The Beatles did the same thing when they released A Hard Day's Night. The opening scene in A Hard Day's Night is what? It's a bunch of women chasing the Beatles, screaming.
And you know
they
why
did
they did that? Because of Elvis.
Well, that's true.
So
we should do that in our opening intro sequence.
We should.
Yeah.
Hiding in phone booths and stuff, pretending to talk while women scream.
Yeah.
And then hopefully people would start appreciating our stuff too.
Also, women want what other women want.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably what.
And it's. I mean, guys are the same way. Guys want what other guys want, which is why we.
They don't scream or faint because of it.
Well, we haven't hung out long enough.
Okay, so we got some question. Why do women divide the number of men that they have slept with by 3? Why not 2 or 4?
Oh, so we don't answer questions from autistic people. That was harsh. I'm sorry.
Mean.
I'm sorry. But here's the thing. I would say
3 is the holy number.
Is it what it is?
I don't know.
It's the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's a good answer.
And
that makes sense.
Three is higher.
So it has to do with Christian theology and the doctrine of the Trinity.
Religion coming in and ruining everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Exactly what it is.
Because he says the follow up to the question is are there 3 different kinds of men out there in a woman's view? And you're saying that there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So that's
Amen.
Who would have thought?
3 different kinds of men.
All right. Do we got anybody? People asking questions? No, I think we're good. Do we got anything more to talk about?
I think this has been a good show. I think we answered a lot of questions. I'm glad that Alex came and helped us out with this. It was very, very helpful having the female opinion on this. And I mean, if you guys would like to see more of Alex, we would love to have her back as well. So
yeah, she's cool.
Feel free to comment. And
that's why we brought her on the show.
Yes.
Here's another one. I got another question.
Okay.
I got another thing. What about age? What about older dudes?
Okay, well, my boyfriend's 11 years older than me.
Okay.
So I think if you look good and you're like not an old fart, then it's fine. So yes. And I think women are always like, oh, an older man will really know how to take care of me. So
they like, is being older an advantage or a disadvantage, or?
I think it's an advantage. I think there's that myth that women have. I don't actually think it's a myth. It might, that maturity is very different in terms of men's age. So it's like 3 or 4 years difference. So older men have already passed their maturity and can take care of them.
So what happens when a man gets older? He gets
richer.
He gets richer. He makes more money. He gets more socially intelligent. He gets more experience with women. He gets a better sense of style and a better sense of self. Right. So all these things that women value a lot more. Like if you look at women, it sucks. But men tend to value only their physical looks for women, which of course don't necessarily get better with age. And so it is kind of an unfair comparison there, because a woman's value, from a male's point of view, tends to decrease over time. But a male's value over time tends to increase, at least in those things. But same as height, I've always said, whether or not it's an asset to you or not really depends on how you look at it. If you're insecure about your age, then it's not going to help you, because that insecurity is going to be communicated, and she's going to see that and be like, "Ooh, this guy's insecure and weird
and old."
If you see yourself,
if you're an older guy, should you wear like a tight T-shirt, have a baseball cap off to the side,
wear your pants really high, mix up the two? No, you should dress appropriately for you. So and I think with maturity and dressing yourself comes dress like a. I was like gentleman, that's a stupid word, but dress, respectfully dress your age. Just like you don't want to,
not like some kind of,
I mean, like you don't want to see a woman who's much older dressing like a teenager. It's the exact same thing, I think.
Oh, we got a question from one of our favorite commenters.
Oh, is Cream Pie Kane's back?
He's back.
You guys never talk about cream pies. Why are we talking about that? Number 1, I love cream pies. One of my favorite types of pies. Just a regular pie, full of cream. You cut into that crust real thick and deep, and you cut yourself a corner of that, and you pull that out.
Are we talking like lemon meringue or Boston cream?
Kind of a cream pie.
Or just straight up cream pie?
Straight up cream pie.
But what about Berliners?
Oh,
it's not really
okay.
a pie.
Now we're talking real serious because these are actually the best thing ever. Have you tried a Berliner yet?
I have not.
So it's near the place that the sushi place that we went to lunch. All of us went to lunch at. They're really, really good. They're I don't know if they're a known. They just call them Berliners, or is that like a known thing? It's like a donut with a bunch of cream in the middle.
There's like Berliners in Berlin that are a donut, but I don't think they're the same as this.
There's essentially it's like a Boston cream donut, but it's like sugar donut, and there's really good cream on the inside.
It's like
you
it's
probably
like
eat it because you're.
It's like some old French man has like put vanilla, like snipping vanilla in there with his with the
whisking it
and stuff like that, and it's like artisanal hipster Boston cream donuts basically, Berliners.
Wow.
Anyway. They're good. So anyway, we do talk about these kinds of things. All right, there's nothing that we're censoring. There's nothing that we won't talk about. And people want to talk about cream donuts, cream pies, whatever. We're going to talk about it because we don't care. We're uncensored. And you can catch us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. This is the end, guys. Thank you. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you guys had a good time, like us, please subscribe. Turn on notifications, because when you turn on notifications, you're going to get notified when we go live. Right? The little bell thing. You click the bell, and then it notifies you. And give us a like and share us around. Thank you guys so much. This is the episode What Women Want. And talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.